look back and sort of throw by throw for 29 for 32, did you still see things on there that could have done better?
Yeah, always. It does. that never fails, right? You always go back and see things that you could have. What happened on the other three? We could have completed them, right? And that just shows us, what we can do, what we're capable of. But when you go back, Coach, right as soon as I come in the building, he goes, "Hey, good job, but let's talk about the three you messed up. Let's talk about those." So that's how it'll always be. He always pushes me in that kind of sense, and I think that's why everybody on this team gets coached that way. That's why I think we're going to be really good going forward.
Derek, on Sunday you said that you guys have the right recipe for success. What do you think perhaps is that secret sauce maybe that's missing to get on the win column?
Just finishing the games. I think that we've done a really a lot of good things. We've been able to get first downs, move the ball, keep the clock running, scoring points. Obviously, I think we could score more touchdowns rather than field goals. Obviously, that would help. To be honest, I think honestly just us as a team learning how to close it out. Obviously we had the lead, I think, the whole game against Denver except the last 8 seconds. And I think as an offense we could have done a better job for our defense by taking time or picking up first down to end the game. And I think the defense, they feel bad as well, but it's a team thing. We could have helped them out a lot better.
Yes, come out on opening drive and scored both weeks so far. Is there something with John Scripps plays that helps lead to that, or is it just?
Well, obviously it helps. Yeah, absolutely. The way that his mind works and the way he installs things, and likes to get things run, and it also helps for later on in the game. Also, he does a good job of getting things out there that are efficient plays, help us move the ball and have a chance to be big plays like the one was it the second play to Jordy. He was able. They busted an assignment and Jordy popped open, and so he does a really good job of scripting things to give us things that we're confident in, things that look well in practice, and so far we've been able to do well on the opening drives.
What are you guys learning about? You and John learning about each other? Are you at the point where you're anticipating the play calls he's making? How does that process go?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that it has been really cool to see unfold over the last couple of weeks. Is the first week was like, I think he's going to go with this, or I think he might do this, but usually with a coordinator, third down what they want to call. With him, it's really first, second, and third down. I know what he wants to do. I'm thinking the same way he is, and that has a lot to do with the way that he trains the quarterback. Right? He wants us to think the same way that he does, and if he calls a play, I know why he's calling it. If they give us another look, I know what play he wants me to get to, and he doesn't even have to say it. Those kind of things. So, so far we're building that, and it's going to take time to continue to build that. But it's kind of cool to be able to already be thinking what he's thinking before it even comes out.
John wants so much, wants efficiency,
Yes.
and complete passes and down and distance and chains. And
Yep.
is that something that is always your first priority, or do you think as you grow in this system you'll take more shots, or are you taking as many shots as you need to take now?
Well, I think we ended up with about 8 play actions on the day against Denver, and that's a lot with the kind of rush that they have. You play action, you're holding the ball a long time, the rush is coming, and so trust me, I know that from experience, right? And so to stay on schedule, you hear coaches say that all the time. Well, you do have shot plays that sometimes you have to check them down, you get 6 yards. Well, 3rd and 4 is a lot better than 3rd and 10 for a missed shot, right? The coverage has changed, the pressure has changed, the scheme changes, the personnel changes, all those things that people don't think about change. And we have certain plays that we like versus certain looks that sometimes it's, hey, get us in this manageable situation. We like these calls in this grouping, those kind of things too. So I could go on for hours about that kind of stuff, but I think that taking 8 play action shots against Denver was pretty aggressive, and we were able to do some good things against them.
Play action wasn't a big part of the offense last year.
Yeah.
John, I was a big part of his offense. What does that do for an offense, and what, in terms of you, in terms of like footwork and ball plays and things like that? What's the process been like in getting comfortable with that?
Yeah, obviously it's different, right? For me, we didn't do a lot of stuff from under center, play action stuff, and so I honestly think it not only helps the pass game. Obviously, you get linebackers to cheat up, and you get to hit them over the head like we did, with Coop a couple of times, and those sorts of things. But I think it helps the running game also, because if they are worried about the play action shot now, they're going to be a little softer to fit the run, and so you just play that game really, and it's been fun to learn that kind of offense, because, in college I was spread shotgun, came here, it wasn't a lot of play action stuff, right? And so, just learning that kind of football has been kind of fun and intriguing. And obviously, some of the best teams, they can do both. It really helps them move the ball really well.
It was obviously earlier in the week. But what do you know initially about the Miami Dolphins? What kind of problems do they create and whatnot?
Oh, I know a lot about them. If today's Wednesday, so if I didn't know about them, we'd be in trouble. We obviously know about their edge rushers. They got good run stuffers in the middle. They got young linebackers. Kiko is the vet in that group, who I've played against. They got good corners, very athletic. Sticky corners. I don't think number 25 gets enough credit, to be honest with you. He's one of the better corners in the whole league, and he does not get enough credit for that. He's a very, very good player. And obviously we know about, I know TJ, he's a Valley guy. I know TJ real well. Good at covering, good at hitting, good in the box, fitting the run. And obviously Jones, number 20, he's a Pro Bowl player, can do everything. Played against him before. And I think he's a real special talent. So I know quite a bit about him. They got a young guy that plays nickel for him, and they got a good couple of guys that come off the bench that have played good football in the NFL. Also, they got some guys that I've actually played against a little bit, and have notes on those guys. So they got a good personnel, and their scheme is difficult. They bring a lot of different looks, a lot of different things. Different pressures, different coverages. They try and make things look some way and play something else out of them. And that's kind of been fun for me because this coordinator kind of thinks the way that I do. Sometimes, sometimes I'll be watching and say, man, they can show that look and play this coverage, and he's the kind of guy that actually does it. He'll show this look and play something else. So it's a great challenge. He's very smart. So with all that talent in his brain, they're a really good defense.
How different now is Amari as a receiver and as a person, I guess, than he was as a rookie?
Oh man, obviously he talks more. He definitely talks more. Our communication during the game, I said this to a couple of guys actually. I think our communication during that game was the best it's been since I've been here. Just adjustments, things that we thought were coming up. Not even on the sideline, but in the huddle as well. Just our quick communications that we usually need to have to win games. And so I feel like all of those kind of things are growing. And I think that is probably the biggest difference. We know he's talented, but I think that those kind of things are the biggest difference that I noticed in just this first two games.
That kind of like you guys are on the same page and you're thinking the same way, or that he's more vocal and telling you, hey, I see this, or I think I can do this?
I mean, anything. Yeah, I tell him. Coop knows he can say anything to me. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, man. Hey man, I beat him on this route, just so you know. So next time we get to it, same look. Well, I know that he won. That kind of stuff. Or hey, if they give us this coverage, run it with this release, or run it with this release, and then I'll put it here, or put it on this spot for you. And just talking that way and doing those things, and then seeing it happen in the game, I think is what built that communication to even grow. Hey man, if they play it like this, I'm throwing it like this, and just over time, we really worked on it, and it was growing and growing. But I think now is at a point where I think we're in a good spot of communicating during a game.
Derek, when the offense is sort of clicking, especially like it did in the first half, and you yourself are in sort of the throwing rhythm that you were in for a lot of Sunday. How quickly do you know, like as you're going up to the line, where you're going to go with the ball? Like how quickly do you feel like you know where you're going to throw?
That is a loaded question. There's a lot of times that you get certain fronts or coverages, and hey, this is where the ball should go. But you still, after the snap, have to see, where the safeties are going, what techniques they're playing, and all the pressure. Different things change for that. So I mean, there's about 100 things that go through your mind in about half a second as soon as that ball snapped. You know what I mean? But for the most part, schematically and just percentage-wise, you kind of have a feel of where it should go. But after that, you still have to play. You got to react and be able to move off of that. But I think most of the time you can have a clue, but a lot of times after the snap is really where you know for sure.
To be a pain in the butt and pick out one play.
Please.
If it's 3rd and 8, you guys got the ball, you throw short of the stakes, Martavis, they catch it, you wind up punting the ball.
Yep.
I think everybody, the announcers and people sitting on their couches are going, why did they throw short of the stake? What did you see, and was that the right call that they just made a play on?
Yep.
Or do you look at that and say, man, I should have done something else?
Well, we were hot, so if I were to hold on to the ball, I would have fumbled it. and got hit, and then the ball would have been a touchdown, and then you would ask me some different questions afterwards. So I'd much rather throw it the way that we planned it and do it that way. But we were hot on the play. Obviously, when you call certain plays, there are certain things the defense can do to make you hot, and there's it's just dang, they got us on that one, but we have answers for those things. Yeah. And then it takes one because again, if you go back and see it, there's been times if that's a broken tackle, the game's over. So it's risky on their part. Percentage-wise, probably not high on their percentage chart, right, to call, but they did, and we have an answer, and then we executed it. And that's one broken tackle with our big old, ex-receiver from the game being over. So.
If you punt it deep down and they hold them, nobody even asks.
100%.
How good did it feel then, Derek? It seemed like it was quintessential you to just sit back, throw a fastball to Seth for that touchdown. Like you just look comfortable, you just sat in the pocket, stepped into the throw. How good did that just feel?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially in that kind of protection, it's a short edge, so the ball's got to get out. And so, it was just it was awesome, man, to see Seth run the route exactly how it should be run and all those things. But I think that we've done that a lot of times, but I'm glad you asked about that one.
I was praising you for your audibles. Can you talk a little about how you developed and maybe the difference between having John as a coach?
Yeah, he's big on that. He's big on the quarterback making sure we don't run into bad looks or have bad protection calls or things like that, because the coaches can do so much, but obviously we know defenses are smart. They can change on the fly too. So just being able to check things, and if they gave us certain coverages, and just really with him, you have to have kind of a photographic memory, because he'll tell you something in April or May and say, hey, if we get this look, check to this. And so you gotta kind of be on it back in your notes all the time, just saying, if we ever do get that look, I got to be ready to check to this in that look. So we had a couple of times where we were able to do that, and it worked out.
The coverages and the protections and so forth. When did you get comfortable to do that?
In college, to be honest with you, my coach had me call the plays, at least the ones that didn't work. He called the ones that worked, but I called the plays in college a little bit, and then my rookie year here with Ole comes from the same tree of believing in how we train the quarterback. So my rookie year, Ole was making me check runs and check those kind of things. So I've been doing it. It's the way I like to play, and so it's good to be that way, because Coach Gruden thinks the same way.